The trio were attending a glitzy event in LA for a charity called This Is About Humanity. And Doria went unaccompanied by her daughter. According to the reports, though, the Duchess is doing the opposite of taking herself away from the limelight. That's because her return to Instagram is imminent, and the Mail on Sunday reports that she could rake in $1 million per post through brand partnerships. So, Lady C, lots going on here. Why is Doria Ragland, a humble yoga teacher who never wanted any fame, never wanted the spotlight, all of a sudden hanging out in front of the paparazzi with Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner? Something's changed, Lady C. What's happening?
Well. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Jan, thank God for GB News, because at least we don't, we get an opportunity to put things in their proper context. First of all, there's absolutely no way Meghan Markle is ever going to get $1 million for any posting. If she gets 30,000, she's doing really well. That's the first thing. The second, all this nonsense about $1 million, it's bigging her up, and it's ridiculous. She's not got one decent deal from any A-list company. And, really, when you stop to think of it, her mother, Doria, is photographed between Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian. I mean, has our royal family sunk so low that it is regarded as desirable that the mother-in-law of a British duke is going to be excited about being stuck between a mother and a daughter whose fame was due to a sex tape, and then having induced the boyfriend to cooperate with the sex tape, they then proceeded to say that the boyfriend had taken advantage when they are the ones who took advantage. I mean, the whole thing is so unsavory. It stinks to high heaven. I'm sorry. It's just disgusting.
Phil Dampier, what do you make of it? Because I thought Doria just wanted a normal life. That's what Meghan always told us.
Yeah, good evening, Pam. Well, I'm told that Doria Ragland has always kept a very low profile because she's absolutely terrified of doing anything that would upset Harry or Meghan, and she would be out in the cold a bit like her ex-husband, Meghan's father. So to see her out and about is quite fascinating. I mean, clearly she's mixing with the Kardashians to get a bit of publicity. I mean, if they're going to learn from them, if Meghan is going to go back on Instagram, go back on Twitter, relaunch the twig, why not learn from the masters at influencing? So she's obviously been given permission, if you like, by Meghan to go out on this. I'm surprised Meghan didn't accompany her, but if it gives a bit of a boost before she starts going back on Instagram, then it's understandable. And Lady C is probably right, she can't earn that sort of money, but I'm sure she can earn good money from it.
OK, the other big royal news, of course, what is being seen as a statement from the Windsors, with the Prince and Princess of Wales arriving at a church service in Balmoral with Prince Andrew in the front passenger seat. They're, of course, all holidaying together in Scotland, and royal sources have told the Daily Telegraph that this marks an end to any talk of a family divided. Obviously, Lady C, slightly ironic because the division really comes with the fact that Harry and Meghan were not invited. But what did you make of the fact that William and Kate clearly wanted to offer some sort of public olive branch to Prince Andrew?
Well, Dan, the fact of the matter is Prince Andrew has never been ostracized by the family. I know of shooting weekends he's been on, shooting weekends he's hosted. He has a full, active social life quietly. He's never been ostracized by the family. They are fully aware of the fact that he fell on his sword to preserve his mother's Jubilee celebration. And, the fact that he is not going to be allowed back into public life doesn't alter the fact that privately he is and has been all along a fully paid up member of the family. They just didn't want him flaunting himself, but they've not ostracized him at all.
Phil Dampier, I mean, I do understand that, but at the same time, William in particular was very clear that he thought Andrew shouldn't return to a public role. So the fact that he is being pictured in public with Andrew, even if it's not at a formal event, it's in a car, it's still... It feels to me, Phil, like there is a view, and I am open-minded on this, and I've said this for some time, I'm open-minded on this, I'm prepared to look at the facts, that Andrew was perhaps the victim of a smear campaign and there was a rush to judgment.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're going to find out more about in the future. But I think William's definitely now the sort of power behind the throne. And there's no doubt that he very much supported his father and very much was the driving force behind Andrew being stripped of his title, stripped of his military posts. So, yeah, it was significant to see him in the car with him, I think. We discussed this a week ago. You've got to make a distinction between him not coming back as a working royal, but also getting on with the family. But, of course, if he's chucked out of Royal Lodge, Andrew, and that seems to now be on the back burner, the person who's most likely to move in there are, of course, William and Kate. So he's going to want to keep in with them and doubtless some interesting conversations in that car on the way to church.
Lady C, do you also think this is a bit of the family, especially William and Kate, acknowledging the wishes of the late Queen? Nearly a year since her death, she did not want her favourite son ostracised from private family events.
Well, absolutely. She didn't, and Andrew has made a sacrifice, and it needs to be acknowledged. And I'm glad that the family is acknowledging it. I mean, they're doing it quietly, but there's a distinction between Andrew, the public person, and Andrew, the private individual. And of course, he has to be seen in public with them sometimes. But that doesn't mean that it's a public engagement that he has an official capacity fulfilling. It's just a private event.
Lady Colin Campbell, Phil Dampier, my royal masterminds, thank you both so much. We will